So when I was younger, I used to bottle up all my feelings. Whatever I experienced, whatever I went through that made me mad or sad or angry, anxious, whatever it was, or whatever somebody did to me, whether it be a rejection, abandonment, made fun of me, whatever it was, I bottled my feelings up. I didn't know how to express what I was feeling. I didn't even know, truth be told too, it's really interesting how the enemy really wanted me to stay silent on everything, because even on top of that, I kept silent also about the supernatural things that I was seeing, and both of them had the same reasons behind it. Because I would see, and that's in actually that's I talk about that in my, let me go ahead and plug this real quick, in my memoir called Cage Girl. I speak a little bit about that. I used to see spirit, well, I know now they're demons. I used to see dark shadows. It was a season that I was seeing it in my bedroom, on my bedroom walls. And the enemy was trying to make me afraid of the dark real early. But one thing I love about my mother, and I always told her this, is that although my mother wasn't in a relationship with the Lord at the time, she raised me not to be afraid of the dark. She used to say there's no such thing as ghosts and stuff like that, and so that I wouldn't be afraid of the dark. Now, unbeknownst to her, she didn't realize that she was actually being used by the Lord. I feel you, Holy Spirit, already. She was actually being used by the Lord, because now, not only am I not afraid of the dark still, right? I ain't afraid of no ghosts, and I ain't afraid of no demons. Okay, that really are real. Okay, but what she was trying to do was just give me courage and stuff, and don't be afraid of the dark, and it stayed with me, because when I got older, in my single period, I was able to, live on my own, and everything like that. Even when I first bought this house in 2018, I was single and I was on my own, and I used to hear stuff all the time. The enemy wanted me to be scared to live in the home that God blessed me with. Okay, the devil is a liar. But yeah, I used to bottle stuff up. I didn't know how to express, whether it be, like I said in the beginning, whether somebody was hurt my feelings, or somebody rejected me, abandoned me, or me seeing things. I used to see, I just believe I was born with it. I had a gift of discerning the spirits as a child, because I would watch people and I would see things. I would see just even an expression on people's faces. Like, I was observing people in a different way than a child at that age should have been observed. To be honest with you, a child at that age typically, don't really observe people, to the degree that I was. I remember, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I remember, now I actually don't remember this happening, but so I must have been maybe a year old. My mother said I was very young, very still a baby, maybe a toddler. And my father had this bar downstairs, and he used to entertain his guests, because my father used to drink. And there was a guy down there that he was entertaining, and the guy held me, but my mother said he dropped me. Now, I don't remember him dropping me, but I tell you what I do remember. I remember every time I would see this individual, I did not want to go near him. And I was, just like I am now, I'm a friendly person. I was a friendly child. You know what I'm saying? I didn't push people away, very quickly or whatever. But I do remember that. I remember never wanting to go or be around him, going to be around him. Now, to this day, I don't know, because I was a baby, right? So I don't know if he dropped me because he was under the influence, or I don't know if the Lord had him let me go because there was something attached to him. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say, you know what I'm saying? After growing up, when I would see him, I would go the opposite way. When he would hang out with my father, I made sure I didn't go downstairs, you know. And so, I don't know. But maybe.
And it wasn't because he dropped me, because I don't remember him dropping me. But I do remember it was this look in his eyes I just could not take. I didn't like it at all.
Maybe my baby self discerned something. And like I said, I don't know why or how he dropped me, but he dropped me. But I would, like I said, I would see stuff in people when I was younger. But the common denominator was I didn't know how to express what I was seeing, right? And I didn't know how to express how I was feeling. And I didn't want to because of fear. So even as a child, I was afraid to, you know, pull my mother to the side and say, I don't like so-and-so, and I don't know why or whatever. Or I was afraid to pull my father aside and say, can you please stop calling me stupid? It's hurting me. It's hurting my feelings. It's crushing my soul and spirit. The kids at school, I didn't know how to say, please stop calling me fat or chubby or whatever. You know what I mean? I would bottle it all up. So now as an adult, I realize now that Satan wanted to silence me very, very early. And one of the ways that he felt like he won was because he took my innocence from me using another little boy at the age of 6. So definitely after that was when I really, really, really kept silent about stuff. My mother wouldn't even learn what happened to me until a few years ago when I first started my podcast on audio. That was my first story. My first episode was when I was violated when I was 6. And I told her about it when I started my podcast. I had never told her. She never knew. But yeah, the enemy wanted to silence me on so much. He wanted me to silence my what was going on with me, because it was that I can see now it's a generational curse. My mother silenced what was going on with her. My sister, I know, silenced what was going on with like people in my family, both sides. It's not just my mother's side of the family. Do not that they come from that what goes on in the house stays in the house. That generation, don't ask, don't tell. And Satan wanted me to be a part of that. He wanted me to continue that generational curse. But the Lord said, not this one. Not this one. The Lord said she gonna tell it. So where Satan thought he had me, and he did for a minute. God allowed him, he allowed it. But it was through building. I had to experience the things that I went through so that I can be where I am now. So that I can be able to speak about not only what I went through, but also share with others how important it is to speak out and tell your truth. So Satan never wanted me to come to this point. He never wanted me to heal also. Ooh. He never wanted me to be delivered. Okay? He never wanted none of that. But just like I told him in prayer last night, he failed. Okay, he's a liar. And so I hope this video encourages you today. I just want to tell you, if you are the person like me that used to be silent, don't be silent anymore. Speak up. Share your story. Even if your story has some fault that you had in it. I did. I just finished a whole series. It's about, I think it's about four or five different playlists of my experiences with being in a narcissistic relationship and a narcissistic marriage. And I also expressed my fault, the things that I did wrong. in those relationships. And I'm telling you, I was actually afraid to do that as well. But it was the Lord himself that told me. He was like, no, daughter, tell it. Because, first of all, he's already forgiven me. The Lord has already forgiven me, right? And he said, now teach others how to hold themselves accountable also, so that freedom will be their portion, okay? Forgiveness is their portion through me. When I mean me, I'm talking about God. Once you pray and ask God for forgiveness, he's ready. I say this all the time. God is ready, okay? We're not waiting on God. He's waiting on us. He's waiting on us. He's ready with open arms to love on you and forgive you. He cannot wait to do that. Why? Because God knows who you are. Because he created you. Why wouldn't he know who you are? He knows who you are. He knows what you're capable of. He knows your, excuse my missing nail. He knows your gifts. He knows what you can contribute on this planet called Earth. He knows how he created you to gift, with a gift to help exhort people, encourage people, to deliver people if y'all have the gift of deliverance. Some of you have the gift of deliverance. To teach people if you have the gift of teaching. To preach to people. To prophesy to people. God knows what you have on the inside of you. Guess who else knows? And especially if you're chosen. Yes, Satan knows what you got on the inside of you too. And I was thinking, I was like, you know what, God? Because it always goes back to Job. Remember that Bama went to God and spoke to God about Job, and God was like, oh no, not my son Job. You know what I'm saying? Perfect, righteous. And he was like, well, he's only righteous because it ain't perfect, because ain't nothing that happened to him. You know, I'm paraphrasing. You know, go and read the story yourself. And God was like, oh, okay. Put him up for the child. Put your money on it, okay? Put your money where your mouth is, Satan. And then he went to, you know, do what he did. But Job came through. You don't think God knew Job was gonna come through? Come on. God is God. He knows all. He sees all. So just like God knew Job was gonna come through, he know you gonna come through. He knows you gonna come through these battles. But he knows you're a warrior. You got to go through training. David. God knew that David was a chosen because he chose him. He had Samuel go anoint David out of all his brothers. And they, listen, all his brothers was built for the fight. Okay? Ready to kill and slay. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But that's not who God chose. Because God doesn't just look at the outward appearance. He looks at the heart. He knows your heart. I'm ministering to you, but God ministering to me as well. I love him so much. He knows your heart, right? So he knows you. He knows how much you love the Lord, how much you love people, how much you love to see people delivered and healed and set free. Why did you know that? Because he placed that in you. He knows you better than you know yourself. So he allows these tests. Oh, that's what I want with David. He chose David, right? And then what happened? There's always a training. There's always a building. God will build you. He will train you. When Samuel anointed David, what did David do? He went back to killing them lions and tigers and bears until it was his time. How did he defeat the Goliath? Because he had that training, killing them lions and tigers and bears. He ain't know at the time that's what God was doing. God was building him and training him for his next assignment. I think it was his first assignment, if I'm not mistaken. I think Goliath was his first assignment. And look how big his first assignment was. Literally and figuratively. But if he didn't go through that training, more than likely he wouldn't defeat it. So, understand that it's important to tell your story. But know that your battles and your situationships and the things and stuff that you went through, it's a purpose behind that too. It is a purpose behind the pain, the hurt you went through, the rejection, the abandonment, and all of that you went through was all for a reason. And you may not understand it now, because you may be watching this video, you literally going through it right now. And you're trying to figure like me, how I did on many occasions. Child, listen, I understand. Many occasions I ask God, why me? Why me? Why me? Why me? Why me? Why does this keep happening to me? Why does A plus B plus B plus C keep happening? Right? But when God gave me the revelation that he gave me, you know, that it was for training, daughter, and that none of it was about you, okay, then I understood. It's not about you. So don't allow the enemy to keep you silent. I don't care what it was. And if it's something where you were the person, like say, like you were the person that did the molesting, or you were the abuser, or whatever the case may be, right? Ask God to forgive you. When I tell you he's ready with open arms, he cannot wait to forgive you. And then let it go. Give it to the Lord and let it go. Let God heal you. Because let me tell you something, okay? More than likely, you did what you did because what you did was done to you. More than likely. That's usually how it goes. About 99.99% of the time is usually what you've done is something that's been done to you. It's called learned behavior. Not condoning it, okay? We're not condoning it. But I want to help you understand it, okay? And that's why deliverance and healing is so important. Because once you've been delivered and then healed, now you know, not only do you no longer do it, but now, okay, now you can teach and you can speak out and talk to somebody else who may have been in your position and teach and encourage them about the love of God and the forgiveness of God and the grace of the Lord. You see how it's a domino effect now? Now more souls can now come into the kingdom of God. Okay? So understand that God needs you. Okay? He wants to use you in a good way. See, Satan wants to use you for it's always negative when it comes to him. It's always negative. There's always if you do this, I'll do this with him. There's always but he always got some underlying, you know what I'm saying? You're going to always owe him. There's always a contract with him that you may not even physically sign. All he needs is a verbal agreement for him to, you know what I'm saying? For him to use you in a bad way. But God will never use you in a bad way. God will always use you for his glory. And who better side to be on than God's side? He's the winning side. He always wins. So again, I hope this encourages you to speak out, speak up, speak out, tell your story. And like I said before when I started my series, tell your story before somebody else do. For somebody else try to run with it, because you know you got people that know you back in the day, okay? And there's people that's pressed to take your story and run with it, with their narrative of what they think will happen. Actually, that had already been happening to me in the streets. these last decade or so. People already been running with their narrative, but I had to heal first. I couldn't go out there before I healed. And then when it was God's timing, when it was time, the Lord said, okay, daughter, now is the time. So speak up. Because sometimes I had to heal first, but a lot of times God will allow you to speak up during your healing process as you're going through your healing journey. You know how you write in your journal? Some of you all have journals. You write in your journal. You write your process every day. You write what's going on every day. It's kind of like that, but it's verbal. Let your YouTube channel or whatever, or TikTok or whatever it is that you use to speak out, let that be your digital journal. If you are still in your process of healing. You know how you go and you look back at old journal prompts, or you look back at old journals entries. I've done this before, and I'm like, wow. And then you look at where you were and see where you are now. It could be the same way digitally. You could start the day on, what's the day? July 11th, July 10th. You could what's the day? July 10th. Sorry, y'all. July 10th, 2025. And you could start the day and then go back and on July 10th, 2026, go back and watch where you were on July 10th, 2025 and see how far you've come. It's healing. I'm telling you. It's just like when you go to a therapist and you speak to a therapist, and then you start to begin to heal through therapy. It's the same thing. You just speaking to people that don't know you. That's all. Don't worry about nobody on the other side of the camera. Let me tell you something. Ain't nobody got a heaven or hell to put you in except for the Lord. Don't worry about people. We'll talk about that on another video. Stop worrying about people. I spoke about this on my TikTok before. Don't worry about them people, because them same people that's judging you got their own stuff going on. They just don't have the courage to speak out about it. And some of them got stuff going on behind closed doors that they think don't nobody know. And nobody may not at the time. But the Lord knows. And if folks don't repent, well, y'all know what's next, okay? But that's it. I really do hope this encourages you. Speak up and speak out. I'm really glad I got free from being silent. And then before we go, I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget. Comment below if you've ever bottled up your pain just to survive. Because that's what I did. I thought that bottling it up and keeping it quiet would be no harm. If I don't say nothing, then can't nobody hurt, or I won't hurt, or nothing like that. And it would be just the opposite. This is what I forgot to tell y'all. What would actually happen is I kept stuff bottled in so much that somebody would say something and it'd be a trigger point, and then listen, I let it all out. Everybody got it. Whoever was around, and then it just wouldn't be good. It just never turns out good like that. It's a trigger point, And then we used to say, when I was growing up, we used to say, I kirk out on everybody. Whoever was around got it. Okay, and that's not healthy. That's not good. So speak up, and don't let nobody, don't let nobody mess with you or tease you about speaking up. Sometimes people will say, oh, you so sensitive, or it's not that serious, or it's not, rebuke that. That's Satan. Okay, that's Satan using them people that do that, because he wants you to be quiet, because Satan knows that when you speak out and tell your story, it's gonna help somebody. Okay, so that's it. If you haven't subscribed, I would encourage you to subscribe here at Receive and Relate. My name is Tara Walker, by the way. I did not introduce myself in the beginning. I'm sorry. If you are new here, if you are a returning subscriber or a returning visitor, hey y'all, hey. And welcome back. I will see you on the next video. I love you, but know that God loves you so much more. Bye.